Video Reviews. Today we're taking a look at Transformers Siege War for Cybertron Trilogy. This is Deluxe Class Prowl, and I've really been looking forward to this. And I will tell you, I am not disappointed at all. I think this figure looks great. He's Cybertronian. He's Cybertronian. He's a police car, right? So this is a Prowl based off of Generation 1, and for all you G1 fans out there, very similar in sort of general feel, except since he's a Cybertronian vehicle, there's no place for a passenger to sit, because back on Cybertron they would transform and there were no people. So anyway, there you go. But this is a really cool figure. Let's take a closer look. Right off the bat, you see on the side, you've got the Cybertronian letters. That actually stands for, now get this, it says eBEFOREi, no it doesn't, I don't know what this says. That almost looks like it says Patrol, right? Am I crazy? It's kind of what it looks like to me. I also dig these wheels. Now these will be polarizing to some. Maybe some will like it, some won't. But this see-through wheel with the painted silver rims just really look good, especially for a futuristic vehicle. This detail right here in the silver, again, it just looks awesome. You know, as if this thing were to transform and just fill itself in. Looks really cool. Got the police lights in red and black plastic. This is translucent here. On the front, you have an Autobot symbol. Big fan of symbols. And then the black paint, the typical Prowl kind of swoop thing. I don't know why my voice went high. Black and white, more Cybertronian, Patrol 3, whatever. On the back, just black and white. On the bottom, you do have Visible Head Syndrome, VHS, isn't it? Visible, yeah, okay. I'm not smart when it comes to these things. But anyway, so there he is in the vehicle form. Now, to get him before we get into transformation, here's his rifle, his gun, and this is probably my least favorite part of the whole figure, just because it's plain. It's white plastic. There is some cool in plastic molding, I guess, but it just is what it is. Doesn't really seem to peg anywhere. We'll talk about that whole in robot mode, but you can put this either on top of the light bar like that. You can also put it more in the middle like that, whichever floats your boat. So that's how that looks. Pretty neat, I guess. All right, now let's get him transformed. Get rid of that for now. What you want to do is you want to flip him over and you want to pull these arms out. And that's easier said than done. So let's open the doors first. All right, doors open. Now you can get your hand in here and pull these arms up just like that. We're going to take these right here and we're going to push them all the way out like that. Rinse and repeat on the other side, and now you've got the arms out. Next, what you're going to do, and the instructions here aren't clear, at least they weren't to me, but you've got to tab this piece. There's two little metal-y looking tabs right there, and this whole thing fits into it. So you want to untab that. Just make sure when you go back into vehicle mode that not only do you accordion this down, but you tab them in. For this particular instance, we're going to just untab and fold all the way like that. Now we're going to come down to the legs, and we're going to accordion the legs out, just like that. And while we're back here, go ahead and flip them around just like that. In fact, we can go ahead and finish the legs. We're going to go ahead and split the legs like that. Bend these down. Then you're going to come here, and this is kind of cool. We're going to take this back piece, and we're going to build like a heel. You know, when I first got it, I thought, because when it comes in package, these are down like that. So when you pull it out, it almost feels like this is supposed to go flat, but no, it creates kind of like a heel. So that works kind of cool. Now we're going to come underneath the hood right here, and we're going to pull this piece out just like that. We're going to pop that little piece of plastic out, and that's going to go into the back right here. So that's going to go just like that, and then this piece is going to come down over the head, just like that. Then you're going to take this bit right here, and you're just going to make sure that it locks in. There's a tab right there, and it's going to go right into the midsection hole, right like that, okay? And we're basically almost done. Now you want to take this entire wheel well, turn it like that, bring the arm down, and you can actually bring this whole piece down like that. although the instructions actually do show it up like that. So it really just depends on what you want to do with your figure. Again, you can leave it up or you can bring it down. Now in the package, the rear wings are spread out like that, but if you're a G1 aficionado like I am, you want to kind of tilt them back like that. And at this point, you're ready to stand up your Prowl, pose up your Prowl, and here is Prowl in a very G1 looking robot mode. I mean, I love the way this looks. Right off the bat, you can see that he has a little bit of problems. We'll get to that here in just a second. While I would not call this a perfect figure, I'd call it a pretty darn good one, and I'm very happy with the way that this came out. Let's take a closer look. That head mold is great. I love that quite a bit. Light piping, no, does not exist. So you got some blue paint in the eyes, silver in the face, red in the crest. I love the way those doors come back behind him. On the front, you've got the Autobot symbol, a little bit of yellow in the headlights I didn't pick up on earlier. And the chest piece, some nice yellow trim along with the black and his police sergeant insignias right there. And I'm sorry, I can't remember what those are called. Help me out! Any of you police or military out there can help me. Down on the legs, you've got all the back pieces to the vehicle that came to the forefront. Weird Autobot symbol that ended up on his kneecap, but whatever. I'm not going to complain about any Autobot symbol. And there you go. Now, the one thing I don't love about this figure is how hollow the back of the legs are. Kind of has a warrior class feel in that regard, although the top doesn't, so it's kind of an odd choice. And it's a shame that they couldn't figure out a way to fill that out. But it doesn't ruin the figure by any means. I think he's an excellent figure, but I do want to make sure that you go into it with realistic expectations. Now, for the weapon, you can take Prowl's weapon. You can put it in his hand just like that, and he's, got a blaster. That's cool. You can also come to the back where his light bar is, and you can pull that off. You can take this out, and you can build it kind of like how a crossbow, you can go like that, which is weird. The better thing is to stick it on top to give it a real big crossbow kind of vibe. And then he can hold it like that, and that's pretty neat. I do like that. You can also take this, and now that the top of the car is bent down, well, I'm completely mistaken. That does not fit in any way, shape, or form. That's weird. I would have sworn that that would have been what that's for. Surely someone will make a shoulder cannon for Prowl. I mean, that just seems silly that he wouldn't have it, right? So, yeah, that's not going to work. So, anyway, moving on. Size comparison next to a Voyager-class figure. There's Siege Optimus Prime, and I think that looks great. These two look fantastic together in every way, shape, or form. So, I definitely think that he goes great with the other Autobots in Siege line. For articulation, his arms go up and all the way around, also up on that joint. If you have that pulled up, you still get the rotation here, so lots that you can do. That's on a swivel peg right there, also elbow hinge. The fists do rotate. He does have waist swivel due to transformation. He has a thigh joint that also spins, and the knee joint goes back beyond 90 if you could get it past that roof pillar, but you probably can't. And he can kick his legs up like a rocket at Christmas time. So there you go. And to complete articulation, he does have ankle tilt, so you can get all kinds of neat poses. Final thoughts on Prowl. I think he's a great figure. He might be a little plain for some because of the white plastic on black, but that's the way Prowl looked, so I don't have a problem with that. I think he really captures G1 in his Autobot form. In his vehicle form for a Cybertronian police car, looks great to me. I think it looks fantastic. I think some may have an issue again with just lack of paint, but I think it fits this character perfect. I'd love to see him redone maybe as a smokescreen. I know we're going to get this mold version of Barricade coming up, but a blue streak / smokescreen in this mold I think would be fantastic as well. What's the bottom line? Highly recommended. If you see this guy in the store, pick him up. I do not think you'll be disappointed. Neither does my cat meowing in the background. Thanks again for watching eBEFOREi video reviews. If you haven't already done it, please subscribe, push the little bell to get notifications when I post a new video, and aside from that, we will see you back here again real soon.